Yep, we are live.
Yes.
Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to you, and especially you. We are live. It has been a while since we've been live.
It's
It's
two
been
weeks.
2 weeks, and get your microphone, Mr. Henderson.
Oh, yeah.
Reach and come. It's been 2 weeks,
2 weeks.
and we're back. It feels like longer. Does it feel like longer to
That's
you?
why I have a microphone.
Right, right. But now you're back. We are back in the saddle. We are live. I am Hyacinth Henderson, joined by Mr.
Robert Henderson Jr., her father, her daddy. Oh, father and daddy.
Father and Daddy.
You don't want to just be a father. You know,
What's the distinction?
father, you just, you supply the sperm, you're the father.
Okay, it's a little
Daddy's like
graphic.
you was involved the whole way, you know?
Okay, I think Dad is being involved.
Yeah, dad's been
Dad
involved.
being
Yeah,
bad.
that's been involved
Daddy is
for
when you get the spoiled component coming
42
in.
years.
So there are three layers to this:
Oh, I'm all three.
father, dad, and daddy.
That's me.
But do you
For
understand the
you, for you,
difference?
that's me. And that's me. You've been retired from working for a man and a woman. You work it's a very long time, almost 22 years. That is a blessing and a gift, man. Because a lot of people just their whole life is just they can't wait to get off the plantation. They can't wait to leave this job. I mean, that's what whole existence.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to even deal with that.
But you know what? I know that working for the man or on the plantation, I would have set hours. I feel like I work more as being working for the Henderson Financial
No
Group.
question.
I work more. I'm
No
like,
question. There's always trade off. No question.
oh
You
my
do.
gosh.
You,
So
you
sure
really
I don't have to ask for permission to go on lunch break or go to
no.
my children field trip or
You know,
something like that.
this Friday you're gonna be in New York seeing a play or
That's been
Bahamas
calling
or
me. Jamaica's been really, really calling me. And
Jamaica.
New York too.
You don't have no set how many days a week or whatever you can take off.
But that is because I mean it may be a Sunday I'm working. The other day I left here at 10 o'clock.
There's always a trade off.
Oh my God.
There's always a price to pay. And it's amazing how a lot of grown-ups still haven't figured that out. It's always a price to pay.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's money, sometimes it's time, it's sacrifice. You want to lose weight, you can't eat two cakes, you can't eat pancakes, and grits and egg all the time. I mean, it's always a trade-off. You want to get to heaven, you got to stop doing sinful stuff.
Yeah.
It depends on your beliefs. Matter of fact, that segue us into
Real quick before you go into that.
please.
Antonio says, do you want a salad? You want something? I'm on my way to pick
Tell
up
my
a
about
salad.
my lunch.
Oh, fancy
Yeah.
pants.
Some greens, broccoli.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Lightly steamed,
Yeah.
not too hard. Okay, good job. I love when you eat green vegetables. Okay, I'm gonna text him back and you can tell the people what we're gonna talk about.
Okay, so yeah, segue right into belief, your belief system. See, here at the Henderson Financial Group, really we're into the change in belief business because most people believe something that's not true or not benefiting them, and those beliefs have turned into habits. And really, you really think about we are, all of us are, where all of our where we are is a result of our beliefs and our habits. And where do you get the beliefs from? Things that you read, people who you're around, things that you hear, things that you see, you know, and you really can't believe everything you see. Isn't that
Mm-hmm.
something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you really can't believe everything you see. And you know, the Henderson Financial Group, if you want to know what we're about, we're like financial positions. We like to analyze, diagnose, and prescribe, strategy. But it's beliefs, because when we say we can do this, and you say okay, but inside your actions didn't agree with what we said. That means you don't believe it. We can tell when you believe something because you can demonstrate it, you can do it.
The outer shows the inner. I
Yes,
firmly believe that. I can already tell what you believe, what you're thinking, what you do based on your outer.
no question. You can say what you want to say,
Yeah. But I know
but
based on the outer.
actions
Yeah.
always shows up the results.
Yeah.
That's a universal law,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a very good indicator. It's like a truth serum. You can say what you want to. Guy say he's not drunk, he's not high, but you can look at him and tell. The guy says he eats very well and he doesn't overeat. When you look at the guy and he's 500 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
So what you say and what you do and the results is totally different. So at the Henderson Financial Group, wherever you are financially, obviously, if you're not where you want to be, we need to work on your belief systems.
Yeah.
You have a lot of things that you don't know about, and that fear. I get so many texts and people email me telling me, look out, the world, especially about Chat GPT and AI. So many people are fearing it. Yet a lot of people don't even know it exists.
Mm-hmm.
What do you say about that?
So first of all, AI has been around. We use it. We've been using it for
Siri is AI, right?
Yeah, Siri is AI. We've been using it for years, for decades at this point, since about maybe about 70 years now. We've been using AI. It started being developed, and then over that time, we have started using it more. The GPT technology, because Chat is just a chatbot that is a part of the GPT technology. So anyway, we've been using that. You use it every single day before the news started telling you to fear it. And I was thinking earlier today, you know what? If you're so afraid of AI, why don't you? Now would be a good time for you to stop getting high and getting drunk. Like, it just came to me. I was like, okay, Hyacinth, maybe that won't hit in written word. Like if I say it on Facebook, I was like, if you really are fearful of AI, the next best thing that you can do is to stop getting drunk and stop getting high. Why? Because you're going to need your mind. Like, you're going to need your mind so that you can be able to think and develop a plan and develop yourself so that you are of value and that AI can't replace you. Was that went too fast, right?
Too fast because most people,
man, because they drinking high,
right? Like they dull their senses and tune out and just be, out of it, where they don't know, they don't care what's happening.
And that's a part of the plan, right? That's a part of it. So if your senses are so dulled on a regular basis, then you need to think about, instead of moving in fear. Okay, I got a text. Let me go back. Let me turn my phone over. Okay, let's focus. The connection is, if you are regularly dulling your senses, and I'm not knocking anybody if you want to have a drink of wine or whatever and stuff like that, but if you're overindulging and abusing substances so that mentally you don't know whether you're coming or going, you are in a fog, and you may not even realize that you're in a fog because you are consistently dumbing down yourself.
That's become a regular activity.
AI is undoubtedly going to affect you. At this time, you need to say, wait a minute, I'm hearing about this. They're pumping this fear into me, and the fear and the dumbing down of yourself go hand in hand.
Okay, so what about people who are not overindulging? It's still going to affect them too, who are not in tune, right?
Right. So then this is where you want to stop watching TV so much. It all goes back to the mind. Yeah, but that's basically what I'm saying. Like, this is happening. The technology is happening. I love the technology. I'm very happy that it is happening. It is progress. However, what are you going to do about it? And the only thing you have is your mind, right?
It's what, like we're in the only thing you have is your mind. Henderson Practical, we're in the belief changing system.
Belief changing business. That's really what it's about.
Right. But a lot of people, a lot of people want to try to find a place where they can feel good.
Right. Go to the beach. Go get you some sunlight. And seriously, you're absolutely right, because society has done such a phenomenal job normalizing things like overindulging in alcohol, legalizing things like marijuana. And I don't care what you say about if it's natural and blah, blah, blah. But when you make it so readily accessible, you know that people go to the extreme. And since society has done such a great job of normalizing and legalizing all of these things that dull your senses and don't allow you the opportunity to connect with yourself and figure it out, to sit with yourself, as I like to say, then you're right. You have no method of like escape. You have no method of process, because it's that. But now is the best time to be figuring that out. Now is the time to say, listen, I'm not drinking for 30 days, maybe 60 days. I'm giving up alcohol. I'm giving up the fast food. Let's not talk about the chemicals in the food and how they literally change your mind. They literally have hormones that are in the food that tell you to eat more of this, that tell you to be sleepy, that tell you to crave this. So if you're so concerned about AI taking over, what is your default? What is your defense against that? You. Right. And so now you have to start looking at yourself and saying, who am I? What do I need to do? Let me break it all the way down so that I can become a clean slate again. We call that detox. Let's detox my mind, body, and soul. Let's detox everything so that I can just be open to not receive, because you're always receiving signals from the higher power, the universe, your ancestors, whatever you want to call it. They throwing them balls at you, but since you drunk and high and zombied out from the food and TV, you like, that ain't for me. That no, put your hands up and catch. But when you
But, you know, it seems like you're just picking on the drunk and high people. There are a lot of people who are not drunk and high, and they still in that same category.
there, okay, let's go to TV.
Yeah.
TV.
They still in the same
TV
category.
watching,
Yeah.
low vibrational conversations with friends,
Yeah.
going to work, coming home, not doing anything else, not changing their routine. So you don't have to be drunk and high off of an illegal substance. You can be drunk and high off of habit and routine. You can be drunk and high off of mediocrity. You can be so drunk with accepting mediocrity and not living your best life that you think that all you are here to do is to go to work, clock in, clock out, find you something to eat, and watch TV and go to sleep.
Ooh, you on it.
2 weeks, right? This will happen when you give me a 2-week
Oh,
break.
man, that's 2 weeks, and you keep getting it all in. Okay, so so why don't we just go over, because we're talking about changing your beliefs. 'Cause, you know, because I remember.
But they need to know that. They need to look at themselves in the
I
mirror.
know we're gonna get to.
We're gonna
that.
wrap back. Okay.
Right, we're gonna get to that.
All
So,
right.
you know, at one time, you know, when there were a lot of jobs and you know, providing horseshoes and
Mhm.
blacksmiths,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because people needed horses.
Mm-hmm.
And new carriages, and, you know, carriages that they would, you know, get around having a carriage or
Mhm.
a horse or a single horse, you know what I mean? And there was a big job. That was a big market for taking care of the horses and feeding them and putting their horseshoes on. The blacksmith was very much needed, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
You need a good blacksmith to take care of horses and horseshoes and all that. And even a company that was actually making different size horseshoes, that was a hell of a business, you know?
Mhm.
People raised their family off making different type of horseshoes.
They built their wealth off
They
that.
built their wealth off
Yeah.
making horseshoes, you
Yeah.
know? And they built their wealth of providing upkeep for horses. There was a
Mm-hmm.
whole industry for that, and there was a whole industry for building and designing carriages.
Mhm.
Now, then all of a sudden, this guy named Henry Ford came along, and he had this bright idea, just blew a lot of people's mind about, you know, four wheels and a car and an automobile,
Mhm.
you know, and that just blew people's mind, and people just felt like, you know, that's wrong, and they were just not going to go with that.
I love that I see where you're going with this. I love this.
Okay,
Keep going.
okay, so I'm glad y'all be glad she loved this, right?
Love
so
it so much.
they really, if you think about that change was that change had to be scary, it had to be fearful, it had to feel like, no, there was a lot of people that said, no, we won't go.
And so here's the thing: the people who had built their wealth and had dominated the horseshoe making business and the carriage business, what do you think they were saying about the automobiles and the cars?
They talked bad about it.
Right.
They talked bad
Right.
about it because it was going to put them out of business,
Yeah.
and they was going to make less money.
It's never going to work. Those things are going to kill people. Oh my gosh. It's going to destroy our world. We're going to be distinct as a people. There are going to be accidents every day. They said all of this stuff.
Yes. They
Be-
said, hell, they were very fearful. There was a lot of people,
Right.
I'm talking about millions of people that felt like that. And they just
Mhm.
felt like the world was coming to an end. What the world, if God would have made automobiles, we would have had automobiles, I guess.
What are we going to do with all these horses? We need
Yes.
horses. Think about this. Y'all really have to think about this. This is not about horse and buggy and Henry Ford. We're using this as an example, but think about the now. So all the fear mongering that's happening now about advancement, and the world advances. Like, we are here to evolve. We're not here to stay the same. Sorry, that's just not going to happen. So all of the evolution that's happening, think about all the fear mongering that they're putting out there and ask yourself why.
And I think that, matter of fact, I know that we're behind. We should have been farther along. Because when I was growing up, I mean, I'll be 65 years old this year. When I was growing up, you know, there was a TV show called The Jetsons. And a
Me
lot of-
too.
Yeah,
Mhm.
the Jetsons, you know, with Elroy and just, you know, space traveled, and they, you know, whatever they wanted to eat a peel or whatever, and everybody was kind of slim.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, it was, and so you thought we'd have flying cars by 2023,
Let me ask you a question.
but they dumb it down.
They dumb it
because of
down,
the
yeah.
money.
Right. To extend the monetary gain that they get from the systems that they put in
Fuel,
place. Right.
All that to keep that oil companies, to keep that going. So a lot of times the struggle, it seems like the struggle is always about economics and money.
So it goes back to your beliefs.
Yes,
What do you believe?
right,
Do you believe that things can change and be different?
right.
Do you believe that evolution is great? Do you believe that there is possibly something that exists and that is working well and that people are having millions, hundreds of thousands of success with, and you don't know about it?
Yes, and that was happening back
Yeah.
during the changeover from going from horse and buggy and
Yeah.
chariot and the horseshoe maker and the
Mhm.
manufacturers. And right now we're on the cusp. We're doing it right now. That change is being revealed. It's coming to it. They've been working on it behind closed doors,
Mhm.
but now they're just letting it out to the general public. The
I
sneak
know.
preview was Alexa,
I
and
know.
then it was Siri. You can get your iPhone. Or if you don't have an iPhone, you can get you some kind of Droid, and you can talk to your phone and ask your phone, which is artificial intelligence, what day is Christmas on um, in 2029?
Hmm.
I mean, you can do it right now, and the phone will actually tell you in 2029.
Hmm.
And you can ask them, things that I felt that when was Abraham Lincoln's birthday. I still don't know that, but I can just ask my artificial intelligence telephone Siri, and it'll tell me the day Abraham Lincoln was birthday. I can ask him how many people died in World War I or World War II. That artificial intelligence, it's been around. So now they're unveiling it, and now they're getting ready to make it to presented to the masses because there's a lot of money to be made. Now, if you still stuck saying no, you don't like the new way, you want the old way. I had a guy call me. This guy is 58 years old, and he says he's not going.
Okay.
He says he big conspiracy theorist. He says, Robert, you got to know what they're doing to us. He said, the guy that invented Cash App, they killed him. The same day that somebody murdered him, they came out with the Fed's own Cash App, which is FedNet.
FedNow.
Yeah, FedNow. And now they're going to control the money. It's like Cash App, but it's going to be FedNow. And it'll take out Western Union and things like that because it's already happening with Zelle and Cash App. But now they said that the federal government is going to have their own FedNow instead of using Cash App, and you can instantly do things. But that goes right along with this whole blockchain stuff. Heisey and I were really into the blockchain, the cryptocurrency. We're going to bring you, as we get more information, and we can bring it to you and articulate it to you in a real down-to-earth manner. We're going to do a series of blockchain and cryptocurrency also. Right now, today's show is talking about beliefs.
You were saying the gentleman who was telling you about all these things, and he's like, heck no, we won't go.
Yeah, he's like, Rob, this is what they're doing. We're not going to go. As a matter of fact, he said most of our leaders are reptilian.
Reptilian. Reptiles.
You heard that before?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he says most of our leaders are reptilian, not even human. So when he said that, I looked at my phone and I said, wow, now should I focus on that or should I get back to doing this financial plan?
Right.
So I decided, if most of our leaders are in fact reptilian, they're not bothering me. I'm still riding my bike and coming to work, and I need this client called me and needs some help. I need to give him some strategy. So I had to make a choice, and I had to make look at my beliefs. He might be true. I don't know. There might be aliens all around us. It might be true. I'm one that don't just close the door on a new thought. I'll look at it and say, and then I'll look for some sort of evidence or look at results, But right now, I'm not going to dive in and join that clan in terms of, because it doesn't, I haven't figured out how it will yield me good.
Because it boils down to, what are you going to do, sir?
Right.
Like, what are you doing besides texting me?
Right.
What are you doing besides texting? Exactly. Fear mongering.
Right. Getting afraid and
like,
blood pressure going
so
up.
What next?
Yeah, what next? You still,
right.
You still got to put gas in your car or electric,
Mm-hmm.
You still have to pay for FPL, the lights or whatever, wherever you are. You still need food and water to eat, and drink. You still need that. That's still going to go on, You still need groceries. So, you try to deal with what's ahead of you. Now, change is here. And you shouldn't fear change. You're supposed to change over. The reason why I started talking about, the horse and buggy days, and then Ford came out with a car, is because we're at that point now where people can start looking at that and saying, and not be afraid of it, but get in on it, because it's not going back. It's not going back no more than you go to the grocery store and you start seeing automation. That is, one guy was on was speaking. He said that he think AI is going to take out 300 million jobs. I don't know that to be true, but we'll see. Because I mean, my mother's Jehovah's Witness, and she said,
Mm.
the world was coming to an end. I believe that is true. I think the guy that woke up dead this morning,
His world ended. Right.
Right. So I can't pinpoint it.
Right.
The good book says nobody knows the hour, the time, or whatever. So I do believe in this change, and all of this is going to take place because it's part of growth. It's part of development, and we're living in the world that we believe and we've seen the expansion. And our job here, because we have to thank God for life.
Did you listen to my podcast the other day?
No.
I don't think you did. Yeah, I knew you didn't have to say it so quick.
Wow, I'm saying some stuff.
You could at least was like, nah, which one?
I got 24 hours.
Okay.
24 modules. Each module.
We, parlez-vous français? We
Each one
have
is
24
one-
modules to
right.
do.
Each one is
Yes.
1 hour. And
So-
it's 24. And we have to have that done before we go to Virginia to this class on
Soon.
May 23rd.
Okay. So you didn't listen to my podcast?
No.
No, I knew you didn't, and I'm not offended.
Why you just talking about it? That said something that reminded you?
Exactly what I said, which lets me know that you really are my father.
That's right.
It's not a hoax. So on my recent podcast, when did I not the recent one, I think I put why you should care about ChatGPT. I released that last Friday. The name of the podcast is the Hyacinth Henderson Podcast. You can download it wherever you listen to podcasts. That's on Apple, Spotify, Android, whatever. Just type in the Hyacinth Henderson Podcast. And on Friday's episode, I talked about ChatGPT and I used the example of Henry Ford, just like you are.
Wow.
And I talked about the fact that actually because we all heard about, well, not we all, we often hear about the Henry Ford and the Model T.
Right.
And it's the first automobile. And we moved from horse and buggy into them.
Right.
And I said, wow. And doing my research, I realized that Henry Ford was not the first person to invent the automobile.
Right.
It actually was Carl Benz.
Mm.
And he did it 23 years earlier. Carl Benz of Mercedes-Benz. He had done it 23 years prior to Henry Ford's Model T going into mass production. Why did I tie that in with ChatGPT? Just as you did. Oh my God, I'm just like, you really are my dad. This is amazing. No DNA test needed. But just as you did, because I wanted the listeners to understand that just because you are finding out about something now, please understand that it has been in the works for years, decades before you even found out about it.
Yes.
And so that's the same thing with the Henry Ford Model T and Carl Benz, and the same thing with ChatGPT. The GPT is actually a technology that is the chat system is built on, and that technology started to be in the works in the 1950s. So now we're in 2023. So we're talking about 70 years. But now you're just now finding out about it.
Right.
And so I raised the question, and I'm bringing this here to you all today. Do you really think you protesting? Heck no, we won't go. Bro, they've been working on this for 70 years. Like, heck no, we won't go. No. Okay. Like, no, they're not. It's just not going to work that way. Yeah, evolution. It is literally a part of life. And it's so interesting to me that humans can want evolution in certain areas, but not other areas.
Yes.
Like if you tell somebody, I'm going to pay you what I've been paying you, the salary is going to be what it was since 1970.
Yes.
We ain't never increasing that.
That's the way it feels.
Oh my gosh, they would be upset. People want to pay raise or pay increase annually, right?
Well, that's why things are, inequality especially in terms of salary, because 40 years ago, I was making $15 an hour at CBS Channel 4.
Wow.
40 years ago. And people right now don't make $15 an hour. They got to strain for that. It's the same thing. That's why they have the writer's strike.
Mhm.
Because
Mhm.
the writers are saying, hey, you guys are making all this money, Hollywood, off streaming,
Mhm.
and we ain't making nothing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they saying we get ready to strike.
So how's that going to affect people who watch TV?
Oh.
Oh, they're not going to write new stuff.
Then it's rerun.
Somebody going to write something.
Rerun.
Yeah.
I mean, last time it happened, Jay
Mhm.
Letterman started writing his own monologue.
Oh my
And the
goodness.
writers got mad. It's just because,
Oh, I like that though. So Jay Letterman's writers were like, we on strike, Jay Leno. And he's like, hold up. I got the juice.
Right, he started
Let me write my own stuff.
And they like, he's like he was supposed to say busted.
This goes back to at the beginning when I was saying why it's important for you to cleanse your mind and be present. Because when things change, are you going to be at their mercy? Oh, things are changing. Okay, I got to do it. No, be like Jay Leno and say, I'm going to write my own stuff. I have my mind intact.
Yes.
I can do something. I can bring something to the table.
You have to be proactive.
But you got to be worth something. You got to know you worth something.
Miss Anna Dupree said you're already gone. Okay, Miss Anna Dupree.
I don't know when she typed that. Tell us about that. Elaborate on that.
Miss Redhead, Mr. Redhead, how you guys doing? How you guys doing out there in YouTube land and also Facebook land?
Mhm.
I know you guys are watching. Again, if you're just coming in, we're talking about belief. What do you believe? And the Henderson Financial Group, our whole practice is into the belief changing business.
Mhm.
Because we have to change your belief from this to that. Because if you're here and we're trying to get here, first of all, you got to believe you can get there. Because if you don't believe you can get there, you're going to do everything not to get there.
Mhm.
So your beliefs are very, very important. Wherever you are right now, financially, economically, health-wise, it's because of your beliefs and you're followed by your actions. So you really, really, oh heck no, we won't go. So you say that.
Oh, saying I'm already gone. Oh yeah, I love it. I'm like, hey, what we doing? What's up? I love it. I'm not protesting against it.
It's going fast too.
Oh my God, I love it. It's just but I like growth, right? So it's not that I love this per se. I like evolution.
Yes.
I like learning. I like growth. I love that. So because this is something positive and something that is going to affect me and society as a large, it's so fascinating to
I
me.
look at it like this. Anytime there's something new, growth and development,
Mhm.
first of all, I totally believe in the creator of the heavens and the earth
Mhm.
in full control.
Mhm.
I totally believe in that. That's my belief. And I do believe in with all my heart the golden rule. Treat people the way you want somebody to treat you.
Mhm.
I truly believe, I don't want you stealing from me, so I'm not going to steal from you. So you don't have to worry about that. Because that's my belief. Not like I'm afraid because I'm going to get caught. No, I believe it.
Mhm.
And I also believe just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. That's very powerful. Just because you don't see it or know it doesn't mean that it's not to be known. In other words, not known. Every time we do learn something, that gives us a reminder that we didn't know it, but it was already here.
I love that. It was already here.
It was already here.
It's everything is here already. Absolutely.
It was waiting for us to go and
Come to the
tap on it and say,
realization.
oh, I see
Absolutely.
it.
Awareness.
Yes.
The power of awareness.
That is very,
Mhm.
very true. Just like you're talking about with the 70 years, like Ford really did not, invent the automobile.
Mm-mm.
Benz did that first.
Mhm.
And then they had a big old debate, political and also financial, whether they're going to go with Nikola Tesla with his battery and keep on with that oil stuff. Because oil was making a whole lot of money.
Mhm.
And a lot of the industry said, well, we're going to do it. We're going to go with batteries, So they suppressed that. And now coming back almost 100 years later, 70 years later, they're saying, listen, this fossil fuel and all this oil stuff is really ruining our planet. We need to come up with ideas, which they are. Because let me tell you something, the creator, like I said, the creator always gives those of us who are connected to the creator, gives us our ideas.
Yes, gosh.
Now, I'm going to say that again.
Yeah.
I hope y'all didn't miss that. The creator of the heavens and the earth, of growth, love, peace, who gives, if you are a branch, and you are linked to that vine, you will continue to grow and then continue to expand. Because you do understand where you come from and who you are. Now, if you're not a branch connected to that vine, which is deeply rooted, then you're out here as a leaf that is disconnected and just flapping in the wind.
Okay, now, because I'm thinking we all are branches, but some people view themselves as leaf.
Yes.
We're all connected.
And some don't believe.
Right. So they just like, I'm just a leaf. So get me out of here. They fight to be released from the branch and the tree and the connectedness. And now they're just blowing.
Because really,
I like that.
None of us can create and grow and develop independently. We all are interdependent. You need this to that, that to that. You understand? It's like my if I just had one finger, my hand, or just had one finger, it'd be pretty hard for me to do a lot of things. If we got 5 of them, you might get away with a thumb going or fingers going or one of them, but you kind of
it's still challenging. Like you get a paper cut or something like that, and you have one of them bandaged up. You're like, oh my gosh, these other four, are y'all worth something?
So back to the metaphor, what I
Mm-hmm.
was saying in terms of so growth and development is change is really in our DNA. It's really a part of us because it goes back from everything. We're expanding and we're growing. If you don't want to expand and growing, then truly you don't understand. Change is very, very good because at one time we all thought the world was flat.
Yeah.
And we found out as research and development, we said, oh my God. And we all thought at one time we were actually told that Christopher Columbus discovered America. It took a long time for a lot of us to that they to actually recognize it. And they still celebrate Christopher Columbus
Columbus Day, yeah.
as a holiday. But we know that
Yeah.
in fact the indigenous people, the Indians were already here. You know, so
Mhm.
a lot of things that you believe may not be true. Now, what if most of the things that you thought that was true and what you believed, you found out they were not true?
Yeah.
When would you want to find
No.
out?
Yeah, I love that.
Right?
Like, I thought this was true for all this time. Do you want to find out? When would you like to know that?
yes.
Like, when would you like to know if everything you thought to be true, if you found out, like, dang, that ain't true?
Right.
When would you want to know that?
Right.
For me, I want to know ASAP.
Yes.
Right? Let me know right now so that I can change courses, I can course correct, I can enlighten myself, change my beliefs, and do something different.
Right.
I don't want to stay in the blind.
Right. So we're in the
Belief changing business. Yes.
So we can tell you about a 401k, what you think and what you believe.
Yeah.
But we can show you
Mhm.
truth down the road.
Mhm.
Do you want to know the truth or you want to just keep on going, you know, with
Mhm.
Christopher Columbus really discovered America? You want to-
Discover.
But
Yeah.
there is a strong push to keep the truth away, and they call that anti-woke.
Mhm. Oh my gosh, it's so strong that they put it in your food and on the TV. Really, really. No, I'm serious. They really listen. If you don't believe me, just do a detox. Start with a 7-day detox. No processed food for 7 days, no news for 7 days, no social media for 7 days. Like, just do that for 7 days. Cook all your food, drink fresh water, do all that for 7 days. And then while you're doing it, you may not notice the difference, but I guarantee you on the 8th day, because if you're like the average person, you're like, oh, I can't wait to get back to eating, my chips and my hog mogs or whatever it is that you do. I can't wait to notice how you feel. So during the 7 days, just journal how you feel, what you got done, keep a diary of everything you did, and then check in on day 8, day 9, day 10. You will see a night and day difference. And then you'll start to think, oh my gosh, I did not know that by changing these things that are a part of my everyday life would have such a positive effect on how I'm able to maneuver through the world. Going back to us being in the belief business and all the evolution that is happening right now, I think it's just a beautiful time for us to be alive. Understand that there are certain beliefs that you must change. Like, you need to be looking at, okay, I understand that, some of my beliefs, I need to change them. The first area that you should consider, let me not say consider, let me be more assertive. The first area that you must change your beliefs in has to relate to your finances.
Yes.
Number one, you have to change what you believe to be true about finances. Because what you believe to be true about finances has only gotten you to the point that you are at now. Don't let that go over your head.
Well said.
So if you continue to believe that, when this evolution is all around us and we are being reminded of the power of evolution, we are being reminded that change starts happening years in the making before we're even told about it. You must say, where do I need to change my beliefs around my finances, around my money? If not, you're going to keep complaining about inflation and the robots and Okay, so that's first area. Second area, I've said it so many times, food. You must change your beliefs around the role of food, around what is food, around the purpose of food, around how you relate to food. Your body is a machine, air quoting. Your body is going to run off of the different types of food you put in your body and the herbs and the minerals. So you have to change your beliefs around food. Thinking that something to eat is food will keep you stuck. There's a difference. You want to go get something to eat? Let's drive to the drive-thru and get something. I got to give me something to eat. I'm starving. There's a difference. It's not food. Change your beliefs around food and then change your beliefs around fitness.
That's going to take some work now. Because
Mhm.
anything that's good is challenging.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it really is.
Mm-hmm.
And what Hyacinth is saying is spot on. I know, we're in a comfort, feel good world.
Mm-hmm.
And most people have become habitual habitors of doing things the easy way and the quick way.
Mm-hmm.
And those are so detrimental for your growth and development. I want to say that again.
Mm-hmm.
Doing whatever is quick and is easy is two of your enemies to becoming well-being financially, uh, economically, healthy wise. Those are 2
Mm-hmm.
critters that will constantly eat at you and your mind and your thought. Because the wrong road is always quick, fast, and hurry. You ever heard the quick and the dead?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So anytime you want to do something worthwhile that's real good, it's always a trade-off. It's always an obstacle. And I give you a visual. Is it easier to go up a hill or to roll down the hill? Think about it. It feels when I said that, I thought
Mhm.
about, oh my God, this little greeny hill,
Mm-hmm.
a park that
Mm-hmm.
has a nice mountain on it, and it's all green. And the kids like to take the little sheets or something, a cloth, and just slide down, and
Mm-hmm.
or you can just get to the top and you're so having a good time. You just roll down the hill. That feels so effortless.
You know where that took me back when you first said that? Up a
Mhm.
hill or down the hill. It took me back to South Carolina. Do you remember we used to go to South Carolina?
Yes.
South Carolina is the first time I ever saw fireflies and tried to catch fireflies. Right. But we went to a park there. I literally remember us going to a park and it was a big hill in the park.
Yes.
I remember that. So when you said that, I was like, wow, this takes me back to my childhood. Thank you for that.
So when you're on that hill,
Mm-hmm.
it's much easier to roll down, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It feels so good. You carefree, no
Mhm.
effort. Now it's much harder, but when you rolling down the hill,
Mhm.
when you get down there, you're flat. Most people are down there.
Mm-hmm.
You can't see high. You
Mm-hmm.
can't look over. You can't see your perspective is low.
Mm-hmm.
You're not a forward thinker. That's what it relate to. Now,
Mhm.
going up that hill, is it harder to go up the hill? Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
It have to take your buttocks, muscles, you get exhausted.
Mhm.
But when you get on top of the hill, you're like, oh my God,
I made it.
I can see better.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see your viewpoint is much more uh, expanded
Mm-hmm.
than the people that's down the hill.
On the bottom.
So you can see more clear higher when you're in a higher consciousness than when you're in a lower consciousness. But in order to get up there,
You
it
gotta
takes
work.
some work.
You gotta work. The visual that came to mind was Stone Mountain in Atlanta, in Georgia.
Yes.
Stone Mountain.
Yes.
You remember we walked up Stone Mountain?
Oh yeah.
That takes some work.
Yes.
If you want to connect the dots to what Mr. Henderson is saying, go walk up. I don't know if they still let people do that, but walk up Stone Mountain in Georgia.
Wow.
It will click. Come back to this and watch it. Be like, wow, I understand. It does take more effort. But by the time you're up there and you look around, you're like, whoa. And you feel accomplished.
You do.
As you sit there, you're like, wow, I made it.
You really do.
Yeah.
You remember we were in Kauai, Hawaii,
Mm-hmm.
and it was you, me, and all of
Mhm.
We had my mom, my aunt,
Mhm.
Auntie Stell,
Mhm.
and we was going up that Ronnie Road over there,
Mhm.
and they kept saying, "Robert, you're going up too high.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we stop?"
Mm-hmm.
And we was going up a mountain in
Mhm.
Hawaii.
Pretty scary.
And our mother kept
Mhm.
saying, "Boy," and they started getting that attitude. They said, "Why don't you stop?"
Trying to exert their authority.
That's what they really did. I'm your mama, boy. I said, "Mom, you think I came halfway up this mountain
To turn back
around?"
now.
I said, "Mom, I want to show y'all
Mhm.
something." She says, "No, it's up too high, boy. It's
Mhm.
up too high." And we're going round and round. And I said, and she said, "I'm telling you, better listen." I said, "Mom, we're almost there. I just need it." I said, "I was almost there." When we got up to that top and
Mhm.
everybody got in the car, it was like, wow.
Yeah.
It's the Grand Canyon of Hawaii.
Yeah.
They said, "Oh my God, look at this valleys, look
Yeah.
at these peaks and all these different colors, gold and green." And they looked so far, and they was like, "Oh my God!" Everybody started taking pictures and everything.
Totally forgot about all this trash talk and smack they were giving you.
That's the point.
Completely. They weren't, nobody even mentioned that.
That's the point.
Just like, oh my God. And that's how the mind works.
That's how
Human
life
nature.
is.
Yeah.
That's what we go through. And
Yeah.
anytime you want to do anything worthwhile,
Got to go through that
you got to
process.
go through that process.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
you gotta
if
go
you,
through
if
that
you
process.
understand the process, it's a much needed process. It's a cleansing process.
Mhm.
It's good for you. It really is because you're growing and you're expanding because you're going to see something. You're going to a height that you've never seen before. So don't be afraid about that. Belief. Your
Mhm.
beliefs are everything, man. If you like have a boring life, it's not adventurous, it's not different things happening, then you're not really living. You
Mm-mm.
know, you wanna go to the unknown. You wanna be a little bit uncomfortable if you wanna have the life that you deserve. You
Some
have to.
one of my things that I always remind myself and I tell people is that convenience is killing you.
Yes,
Convenience,
it
just
really is.
always think about that. Everything, right? Because when you want to take the shortcut, when you don't want to go to the gym, when you don't want to, you want to just get something to eat instead of making your food. You want whatever the case may be. Going up that mountain, going to the next level. Stuff. Convenience is killing you.
Yes.
Just be like, oh dang, all right.
You know, 40 years. You know, when I left CBS Channel 4 and I had an easy job out of 8 hours, you had to work 3 hours, and they paid us $15 an hour,
Mm,
and we go down town and have. I'm gonna tell my son, I don't want to leave this job.
Mhm.
Boy, you crazy? What I'm gonna tell my friends?
I
Like
remember.
cushion job, got
Mhm.
benefits and everything. I
Mhm.
said, Mom, it look good to everybody else, but I'm not growing.
Mhm.
I'm not being all I could be.
Mhm.
It's simple. I can stay here forever. I already know I'm gonna get a 3% raise every year,
Right. That's
but I
it.
need more. I only got one life, so I did, and I went to the unknown. So I'm saying that for
Mhm.
you also. If you have a 9 to 5 job, that's fine, but it's nothing stopping you from getting a side hustle. There's more to you.
If you would have stayed at CBS Channel 4, you probably would have continued to be my father and maybe even my dad, but not my daddy.
Oh, I couldn't have been
You
your
could you could
I
have
could be
been
your dad and your father, but I couldn't be
father,
your
yeah.
daddy.
You might have been a stressed out dad too. Like, why are you asking me for this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Well, financially, I wouldn't have been
Right.
where I am now.
You didn't be
There's
able to
no
be
way.
daddy.
No.
Okay, we
So
could have ate ramen noodles together. Did you sign up for the 115 webinar?
today,
Mm-hmm.
no.
Okay, I'm gonna sign you up. We gotta go. We got a webinar at 115. It's
Okay.
106. They moved the 3 o'clock to 1 o'clock and doing it joint with Steve. 115.
You're kidding me.
I know you get a lot of emails. That's why you got me.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. That's why
Mhm.
interdependence
It's important.
is very important.
Yeah.
You can never get to your highest highs alone. I want y'all to remember that.
Yeah.
You can never get to your highest highs in no field. You can never reach the top. You cannot get to that zenith point without someone else.
Today's Wednesday. I think it's today. Yeah. There, I got my reminder. Okay, I got my days together. All right. So if you enjoyed this, be sure to share this and share it and like and comment and all those things. Saturday at 9 a.m. in the AM, the Understanding Money Show will kick off. Same time, same place. Will y'all be taking calls on Saturday?
You know, I don't know if we're gonna start this. I may
Mhm.
test run it this Saturday.
You may test run.
So
So
he's gonna bring a light bulb in there so the phone will just be ringing, a bulb will just come up. You know,
mhm.
that's good. Yeah,
Nostalgic.
yeah. Change.
When he brought this phone, and I'm like, whoa, where'd you get
I
that?
know it's antique, but hey, we going somewhere with it.
Did you see the movie Air?
No.
No, it made me feel like an old person. I was like, oh my God, that's how it was back in my day in the 80s. It was so funny, but it was good to watch. All right.
You know how to reach us. They want to call.
305-825-1444, 305-825-1444. The website, www.thehendersonfinancialgroup.com. It is all updated and approved and ready to go, but we're waiting on one more approval, and I am emailing them every day because I am very excited about the new website. I know you all are going to love it. So stick around for that announcement. Actually, I think we should do a contest to promote our website.
Oh, that's good.
And maybe whoever wins, they can go to dinner with us, like a 2-hour dinner.
That'd be great.
3 hours?
That'd be great.
2 hours. 2-hour dinner.
Sounds
2 hours at the La Chateau Inn. And yeah, I think we'll do that. So stay tuned. But in the meantime, you can still hit us up on our website. Also, give us a call, 305-825-1444. Until next time, stay safe and stay sane. Peace.